side. Your love is on our side.
Happy birthday, America! And to myself, because I was also born this day. Crazy, right? A lot of people ask me all the time, oh my gosh, that's like the best birthday to have is July 4th. And I always have to kind of tell them, not so much, because everybody's celebrating July 4th. So it's really weird. Like, I didn't really have birthday parties growing up. But now that I'm older, I love that it's July 4th, because like today, I am 30 minutes late to go to the lake and hang out with friends because they already have a party going on. So why not just join on into their party? And apparently they've like made me a cake or something. So super excited about that. In the spirit of my channel being about me being in the Air Force, I'm gonna tell y'all a little story before I go to the lake of where I was last year for my birthday. So this year is actually like one of the first years I've ever had off of work because I work at the university. So, and then last year I actually did have off. I was on tour. So at this point last year I was at Lackland and we were there for, if you can't tell, I've been pretty sick the past couple of days. And actually this morning today's been the first day I've actually felt somewhat okay and somewhat alive. But, which I'm happy about because it's my birthday. So last year we were at Lackland. I think we had been there for like maybe like a week or so. We were there for a long time and we found out that SeaWorld has, you can have free admission if you're military. And so we're all like, heck yeah, we're all going to SeaWorld. So one thing that was kind of like a hiccup was, even though all of us were, you know, 25 and above and a lot, like I was one of the youngest people there and I guess that day I turned 26 on my birthday, but we couldn't drive any of our own cars. Like we couldn't rent a car or anything. So we actually have a cadre that would drive us everywhere. So they were like, we're gonna go to SeaWorld. So we're like, well, I guess we're gonna go to SeaWorld with y'all. But it was so much fun and I loved it. And I think the only thing I didn't love was just the fact that like, it was the first day we had off since probably 2 weeks into COT. We were at COT and we just never, like at the end of the month, we had no days off. Like we were working we had stuff to do like every Saturday. And then we got to C2I2 and then we were still working. So it's not like we had weekends off or nights off. Like, so I just remember July 4th being the first day we had off and probably like at that point like 3 or 4 weeks. So I was just like, man, I wish like, I don't know, like I wish I was here at SeaWorld with like my home friends or something. But I was there with cadre and there was some stuff that came with that. Like I was like, oh, I have to make sure I'm still like being polite. But I told everybody leading up until the second I knew that we had my birthday off, I was like, we have to go see fireworks. That's all I care about. That's all I want to do is I just want to go see fireworks because it's my birthday and it's July 4th. That's all I want to do. So we went to SeaWorld that morning and it was a lot of fun. I actually rode some, I think, roller coasters, and that was the first time in a couple years I had rode roller coasters because I usually get really sick and I was actually pretty fine. So that was fun. We also got to hang out with some people from other flights and normally we wouldn't get to do that. So that was fun getting to hang out with them. And it was just, I don't know, I just love being there. And I was thinking the other day about the killer whale show that we were watching. I think I have pictures somewhere. I'm really not too sure of it, but I just remember thinking like, man, they live in such a tiny little area. Like these big killer whales don't have a lot of place to go, but it was still very magical and it was awesome. And I just remember being like super hot and I rode a roller coaster with our shirt and it was so funny because I feel like on SeaWorld Day, that's when we actually got to see the personalities of our cadre. And the shirt was like, I think she was like either a master sergeant or senior master sergeant. I can't remember. but she sat next to me and she just latched herself onto me and just screamed her head off. And I was like, what is happening right now? Because I was not used to like somebody of like even enlisted high rank like that, like acting like a human to me. So I thought it was hilarious. I was laughing my head off. So we rode roller coasters, hung out with people, and then finally we left, and I was like, we have got to go to see fireworks. Like, that's just, I have to do it. It's my birthday. I've had it every year my entire life. And so I finally guilt tripped 3 or 4 guys from my flight to go with me. And we went into, it was like a park kind of in downtown San Antonio. I'm not too sure actually where it was. But one of our cadre dropped us off and he pretty much was like, so you may have to, oh, that's my alarm that I'm 40 minutes late now, leaving. Oh God. But my cadre was kind of like, you might have to get a taxi back because there's no guarantee that I'm gonna come pick you up. So we're like, okay, great. So we got dropped off. It was like this big extravagant show that they had. It was really big. Like, we had to walk a good ways. There was a big lake. And then we get there, and the Air Force Band of the West, I think it was, they were playing, and that was so much fun. They were phenomenal. And then there was a couple other bands, and we did a lot of line dancing. And one of the other guys in my flight, he's really big into like swing dancing, so he was swing dancing with some people. But it was just super fun, and we got food, and it was really funny too, because like we could tell the guys that were there, that were at like training and stuff like that, like we could tell like the stuff that they were wearing. It was pretty funny, but it was also kind of weird because I was like, I was there like with all a bunch of dudes like on my birthday, like line dancing. So because I was the only female on my flight, so everywhere I went I had like this group of guys. But it actually ended up being really nice because as the sun started to set, the fireworks took forever to go off. So eventually we're like, we gotta go back, like, because we had a report in the morning at like 5 a.m. I think it was. And we start walking back, and we were like, this is not safe where we are at. Like, we had no clue, but we were like, this is not a safe area. And I'm just really thankful that I had the guys that I had, because they were all like really big buff dudes, and they literally like surrounded around me as we were walking through the streets of like this really sketchy area. And I just remember thinking, I was like, thank you God that I'm with these dudes, because if I was not, I would be so nervous right now, because it was pretty scary. So we call our cadre, and actually we watched the fireworks as we were trying to walk to get to somewhere to where our cadre could come pick us up. So we're like walking and they're not answering their phone. And we're like, what the heck? Why aren't you answering your phone? Like, you know, like we gave you time, like all this stuff, whatever. And finally they texted back, they're like, sorry, we can't come pick you up. And we're like, oh, okay. So I don't know, I think it was the grace of God that for some reason I had a phone charger in my purse. Like, why I would bring that, I'm not too sure, because all of our phones were dead. And we're like, okay, well, we're gonna get an Uber to drive us back, because they told us that Ubers can go on a base. Ubers cannot go on a base, just so you know. Taxis I think might, but Ubers cannot. So didn't know that. Sorry. So we call an Uber, and none of our internets are working, so we actually walk like a mile or something to go to a McDonald's. And I plug my phone up, we get an Uber. It takes the Uber over an hour to get to us, and he was only like 6 minutes away because there was so much traffic. And it was like we had to meet him out of the front of McDonald's and like run into the car. And so we started driving to base, and the gate we were at was closed down because we don't know the gate schedules. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I told the guy, I was like, just go to the Medina side. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's always open. He's like, you have to actually put it in the app, you can't just tell me. And we're like, oh godly. And so I start putting in the app. He's like, it may charge you additional things. And I was like, oh my gosh, like we've already been in this car for like an hour. I was like, man, wish this isn't going well. And all of us are getting kind of frustrated. And so we get dropped off on the Medina side, and he's like, I can't go on base. And we're like, you can't go on base, what are you talking about? Like, we're literally 2 miles away from our hotel. And he was like, sorry, I can't go on base. So here we are it's like midnight, 1 a.m. and we get dropped off on the Medina side, and like good thing we all have like our IDs with us and stuff, so we get on base and I bring up like my tracker of how to get back to our hotel, and it's like a mile and a half, 2 miles that we have to walk to our hotel. And I was just like, I don't care how this day ends, I just have to be in formation at 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, I don't care if it's we get to our hotel at 4:30 a.m. and have to change and then get into formation. I don't care, I just need to be in formation at 5 a.m. So yeah, that was my birthday last year. And I think I have some pictures that throughout this time maybe I have been showing. I really don't know, I have to find them. Everything is a hot mess with my files because I've like kind of lost everything, kind of not, I don't know. But I do think I have pictures of the fireworks and with the guys I was hanging out with, and I think I have one at SeaWorld. But that's where I was last year. Definitely a whole different environment than where I'm going now. These are like my best friends that I'm going to hang out with now, whereas last year was that. And then later on this week I'm gonna post a video about where I was the July 4th before that, because that was actually the July 4th that I felt the call to join the Air Force. So that was really cool, and I have a little bit more content with that, so I'm gonna save it because last video was like 30 minutes long and that is way too long, so this is definitely not gonna be that long. But y'all have a happy 4th of July, and I hope it's safe and you have fun, and some of y'all are probably at trainings, I don't really know. You should get today off, so that's nice. You're welcome. We all get today off because of my birthday. But have a safe travels and day, and don't get burnt too much, and have a happy 4th of July.